Hey y'all, how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing good. It is a beautiful day here in western North Carolina in Jackson County, and today we're going to be cooking some Cowboy Campfire Hash. All you're going to need for this hash is you're going to need a cast iron skillet. You're going to need either a campfire or you can use a stove. We're going to do a campfire today just because it's such a great day outside. You're going to need some potatoes. I have two here. I'm going to be the only one eating this, and this recipe feeds a lot of people. So 2 potatoes is not a lot of potatoes for this. Other recipes, 2 potatoes could probably feed a couple people, but for this recipe we're going to use 2. This is just 1 person. If you have more people, add more because 2 is not a lot. You're also going to need some bacon, you're going to need butter, and you're going to need some sausage. So the other thing you're going to need is you're going to need some onions, but instead of going out and buying onions, we're going to take this tool here and we're gonna go dig some ramps. Technically this is a seine digger, a ginseng digger, but it works perfectly fine with digging anything that doesn't sit deep into the soil. So after we go get our ramps, we're gonna go get some wood cut, and then after that we'll start our fire. We're gonna let it heat up, let the cast iron heat up, and then we'll get to cooking. Let's go. Okay, so here we are at our little ramp patch. This is one of our smaller patches, but these are what ramps look like. And all you want to do to dig a ramp is quite simple. Is just kind of clean everything out around it. I've already gotten the leaves and sticks out from around it. Then what you want to do is just take your tool or digger. You want to come back about maybe 1 inch to 2 inches, depending on how long the tip is here. And then you just want to go straight down and then just pull back, and you want to dig up. And you can kind of go on down there, just kind of keep on prying it up a little bit. And then once it starts to come up, just peel some of that away. And you want to be very gentle with it because you're looking for the bulb of the ramp. And there you go. Now if we clean this off, you can see that right there is the bulb of our ramp. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Alright guys, now that we've got our ramps, we're going to go ahead and get them ready and prepare them. So first thing you want to do is you want to cut this root ball. So you're just going to take your knife. I'm just using a plain old pocket knife. You just want to cut right down there near the bottom and just cut that root off. Now save these and take these roots and go and just plant them back in your patch, and then your patch will continue to grow. So now we're just going to go ahead and do that for all of these. Alright, and this one didn't have much root on it, so we're just going to cut that out. Okay, now that we've separated our roots from our ramps, you can just set these aside somewhere out of your way. Just take a little bit of water, and you're just going to wash these off a little bit. They don't have to be perfect. Just drizzle some water on them, maybe give them a little bit of a rub, and you can peel a couple layers of the skin off. Then after you get them relatively clean, you'll be ready to go. We're just going to go ahead and finish cleaning all of these out right here. Okay, so now we're going to start processing our bacon a little bit. I like to cut these ends off and cut it into smaller strips. That way it just fits into the cast iron just a little bit better. So whichever end is thinner, I'll just take it and just kind of cut it down to size. Whatever size cast iron you have, you can use. Looks like my knife needs a little bit of sharpening. But I like about this size, and I'm going to use about 4 to 5 pieces of bacon for this one. And after we get done cutting them, we're going to go ahead and put them in the cast iron with the butter. I've got our 4 pieces of bacon here that we're going to put in our pan. Our pan is preheated. It's been sitting over the fire for about 10-15 minutes, and if you look inside, you'll see it's got a little bit of ash in here. So what you're going to want to do is, that's going to happen when you're cooking over a campfire, is just take you a little paper towel and do it quickly so you don't burn your hand, and just kind of wipe some of that out. Just try to get the bigger pieces out of it. Doesn't have to be perfectly clean, and just get a little bit of that ash out. Just make sure not to burn yourself. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our butter. We're just going to coat the bottom of the pan in butter. You can use oils and things like that too. And you can see just how hot that pan is. Just be careful and watch for a little bit of splatter. But I like to just liberally coat the bottom of it in butter. There we go. Alright, now we're going to take our bacon. We're going to go ahead and put it down in there. This one's a big piece. Alright, and now we're going to take our bacon. We're just going to walk over here. And as you can see, I've let our fire die down a little bit. We're just going to set it right there and let that bacon fry. A little tip with the cast iron, if you angle your handle out away from the center of that fire a little bit, it'll keep a little bit cooler, so you might be able to handle it a little better. But we're going to let those fry for a little bit. So now that our bacon is on the fire and it's cooking, now is a really good time to go ahead and start cutting up your sausage. What you want to do, you just want about 1/2 inch thick slices, and you're just going to slice them up. Now these are cheddar filled ones, and you don't have to get those. Almost any sausage will work. Like I said earlier, in hash, you can just about put whatever meat and tater in it you want. It's just your preference. I just happen to like these, and they're also pretty cheap at Walmart. But you're just going to cut these up. Then once we get done with that, we're going to take the bacon off when it's done, and we're going to drop these into the pan right there with the bacon fat, and we're going to let these brown up a little bit. Alright, so now that our bacon's done cooking, we're going to take this off carefully because it's kind of hot. And we're just going to drop these in, right in there with the grease, all of that bacon fat. And then we're going to take it back over to our fire, and we're going to let these brown. Now that we have our potatoes cut up, and I tend to cut mine a little bit smaller than most people just because I like them to cook a little bit more, we're ready to move on to cutting up our ramps. With the ramp, what you want to do is you want to keep the white but not the red. I usually cut mine and leave a little bit of white on with the leaf, but that right there is about what you want. The bulb is the main part that you want to eat, and just separate the white and the red. Alright, and then once you have your ramps cut up like that, cut them into smaller pieces, just little chunks. Now ramps are very strong in flavor and in smell, which is why I'm not using just a whole lot of them. They're also kind of rare, some places. So if you find some, don't dig up a whole patch just for one meal. Alright, so now we have these guys cut up. So our next step is to go get the meat off of the fire, and we're going to put our potatoes as a bottom layer with the onions, and then we're going to break our bacon and we're going to put it into the pan all in one. Alright, after you have your potatoes, at least as good as you can get them, onto the bottom and your sausage on top, just take your ramps, just kind of sprinkle them throughout there. Now these do have a lot of flavor, so you know, you can spread them out pretty good. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to take our bacon, we're just kind of going to crumble it up all around the top here. on to the final step. This is what your pan is going to look like. You're going to have your uncooked potatoes on the bottom. Then you're going to have your ramps, sausage, and bacon all on the top. And all we're going to do now is we're going to take this over to our fire and we're going to put it on it, let it cook. All right, everybody. That's it for our cowboy hash. And I like mine a little bit more done than other people. You notice I just about blacken everything on here. And that's just my preference. But this is a really, really easy and great idea to make when you're camping. That's when we usually make it. Or when we go on very long four-wheeling trips, we'll make this. Just because it's so easy to prepare. And this right here, I mean, this could feed 2 or 3 people. And this is actually a very small version of what I usually make when we make this. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys go out and try this and see how you like it. And as always, you know, add your own tweak to the recipe. There's really no reason not to. It's a very simple thing to make. Any hash is just taters and meat. So yeah, go out, try it for yourself, add in something you like, take out something you don't like, but go out and give it a try, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks.